Hey guys, such a warmonger here, and you're watching 4 versus 4 Pike and Shot. So this is a player versus player game, set in the 16th century, the 1500s. And the name of the game is to get 1,000 points. The way you get 1,000 points is by killing the enemy, capturing monuments, and keeping your captains alive. So we already have yellow going for the monuments to start getting a trickle of points. So yellow is sending some light cav. Let's turn the fog of war off. So yellow is going for monuments. This is a monument. This is a monument. And this is a monument. So there's only 3 monuments in the game, and it is the slowest way to get points. Basically, it gives you 1 point every 15 seconds. And then the next slowest is keeping your captains alive. Every player has at least 1 captain. And as long as that player has at least 1 captain alive, that player will earn 1 point every 15 seconds for his team. So that's 4 points if all 4 players have their captains alive. And the last and most efficient and best way to get points is to win engagements. So the way engagements works is every time an enemy unit dies, the balance of power goes in your favor. So it goes +1 for you. And then every time your unit dies, it subtracts from your balance and then goes towards the enemy balance. So basically, it's kind of like like a swing. Or a seesaw, more like it. So if the balance of power goes by 10 units dead, then that team will earn 30 points, and then the balance power will reset back to 0. So, as you can see, I am the red player, and I've already decided, well, maybe this particular game, I'll go a little bit defensive, and I'll set up a line right here. Blue is deciding he's going to try an all-cav army. And the whole reason Pike and Shot exists in the 16th century, 17th century is because we got an engagement. Nope. Blue is falling back. Anyway, the whole reason why Pike and Shot exists as a form of warfare is because it was kind of specific to Western Europe. At the time, up until the 15th century, cavalry became a very, very strong weapon of war. By the way, you notice these bullets are hitting the trees. They're not really damaging these people much because they're hitting trees. And these bullets are hitting buildings. The way bullets work in this scenario is they'll hit anything. So buildings, trees, units. If you shoot your own units, that's no problem. It's just that only the front ranks can shoot. So this big mass of conquistadors or pistoliers, they all fired, but only the front ranks can shoot because all of the back ranks are just hitting their own allied units. The interesting thing about that is there is allied damage. Uh-oh, here we go. There's allied damage, so if you shoot an ally, you will kill their units. Watch this engagement, because it's the only engagement in the game so far. So you notice cavalry is very strong. Unsupported arquebusiers will get slaughtered. Pikes are necessary. For example, this cav will slaughter this little yellow army. Because this cav is a heavy armored cav. So they are the strongest cav in the game. And it's a whole bunch of them. This player actually opted to go pure heavy armored cav. So, pure heavy armored cav in this game, very expensive. Most expensive unit in the game aside from artillery. Aside from cannons. But you can see they can really just kill the enemy very good. Also, they have 50 charge attack, etc., etc. How's this going though? Gray is deciding, okay, if I had enough of this, I'm gonna try to build some barricades here. Meanwhile, we have some... Oh, I accidentally sent one pikeman here to capture this monument. Yellow is going conquistadors, he's going raiding. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Going behind the building, which is nice. Taking cover. Oh my god, and all the yellow units die. Oh boy. Oh no! Cannons! Like I said, heavy armor cav, super strong. You should really be kiting. This is the power of Pistoliers, is kiting. Like that. Light cav being slaughtered by heavy armored cav. So far, the payoff of the West team is to go classic French. In fact, they are more French, so it kind of like goes in line with history. They like their heavily armored cav. They're actually called gendarmes. And the French side, the House of Valois, really did like their heavily armored cav. So this kind of like goes in line with history, where they relied on their heavy armored cav to kill the enemy. The only thing that's not super historical is Pistoliers. French didn't really catch on with Pistoliers as much as the Holy Roman Empire did. Okay, so it looks like we've got Orange is opting for a also a cavalry army, sort of. You really don't need this many builds. They don't do anything except build barricades. So you can see I only have 2 builds cutting wood. You can see that another observation is these cannons can shoot a 100 range. So I am shooting from here all the way until the top of this monument. Looks like we got a big cavalry charge in the center. Not sure if this is a cavalry charge or just a scout. Something that could have improved Blue's army is including a few light cavalry with his army. If he had light cavalry, he would have 20 in line of sight and a better chance of seeing what's out there. Because there's only 2 units in the game that have 20 line of sight, and it's light cavalry and captains, these guys. Now, as the red player, wait, so we got a big engagement here. Cannons trying to help with it. Heavy cav versus medium cav. So, the orange heavy cav should win the day, but now you have infantry with pikemen coming in to help, and this heavy cav should pull back, and they are. Now we got pikes here. These are my red pikemen. These are not just your regular pikemen. These are regular pikemen. These are Swiss pikemen, so they have more armor and attack at a faster rate. And even though the French have heavy cav that are super duper strong and armored, pikemen are very good at killing them. And their pikemen are also much cheaper than heavy armor cav. So this is a huge win for my team, killing basically Purple's super expensive heavy cavalry army with just relatively cheap mercenary Swiss pikemen. So now you can see now all Purple has is just these scout cav, light cav. So West is realizing, you know, we lost Purple, except now Purple just has light cav. So his line of sight is actually very good. Unfortunately, he thinks his light cav can take on this heavy cav army, and they definitely cannot. But at least they're faster. They're much faster. But this light cav is going to get slaughtered pretty badly. And also here, we got Blue making a cavalry charge. He's sort of doing a caracol tactic, which the Holy Roman Empire actually used, which is to move forward with his Pistoliers and then pull back. It's a good tactic. Now, we're getting a lot of pressure from the West team, so their infantry has finally arrived. They kind of look like they want to take the monument. They kind of look like they want to dislodge my red position. This is where I set up. And my southern army is out of position. So there's a lot of pressure on this position. We have to be careful. The cannons are doing their best to do what they can. But, you know, that was a big volley. Because even though these arquebusiers are very, very inaccurate, but I gave them the power to attack ground. So I kind of like knew that there was a little bit of stuff here. So I just made this group fire, including cannons. There's a lot of communication going on in the game. Got more reinforcements coming in from the west. Looks like they're getting ready to make a big push. Now let's take a look at in-game to see what the points are. I'm just bombarding some things. Let's take a look at the in-game, what the points are. So this is what it looks like in-game, really. And if we have the Fog of War, this is what Earth Nox is. This is what the blue team sees. Alright, so you can see the West team, like I was saying, this is what you see points. See, this cab has a good 20 line of sight. I think it's kind of see everything. So West team has 632 points, East team has 527, so the West team is doing much better by about 100 points. Almost exactly. They're starting to fortify right here, although they are being bombarded by my cannons. So now, I just wanted to do this to show the points. Let's go back to Capture Age. Alright. So, kind of sending Vision over here. Not sure why they're not capitalizing on it. Now, what's interesting is they're deciding to use barricades. So the difference between these barricades and wagon barricades, you can build these wagon barricades and your men can shoot over it. If you build these barricades, bullets will not shoot over it. Only cannons can destroy them and melee units. Bullets cannot hurt these things, no matter how many times you fire. So, looks like they're opening up a little hole in my defenses. Got sort of an artillery duel here. I can't really see what's going on. Let's see what I can see. So this is what I can see. I can only see part of their army. I really like take a look. This is what I see. I kind of don't realize how big the army is, but now I see there's a huge chunk here, so I think that's where I want to shoot into. Let's see how that goes. I hit one cannon. That's really what I want to do. I want to kill their cannons. Something's happening here. Looks like Gray's going on a raid with his villagers. That will help with the KD a little bit, but the main battle is right here. With artillery shooting into the big army. My reinforcements, I forgot about them. This is a problem. I'm still shooting into their army. I still want to take those cannons out. Alright. Now, I'll just take a look at the in-game. It looks like the West team is at 717 points. East team is at 683, so the gap is closing a little bit. But we've got a huge engagement here. Yellow Pistoliers coming up, helping with the battle. See, they're very good at kiting. Problem is they're super inaccurate and nearly ineffective at long range. Wow, there's a big pike engagement here. So, the horrors of pike warfare. They're pushing into this position and coming in here. They killed a bunch of cannons. That's 3 cannons dead. But finally we plugged the gap, and I'm trying to plug the gap right here. Now they're pushing in with their arquebusiers against my positions, slaughtering a lot of men. We got a big engagement up here in the north. A lot going on. Pistoliers running right in the middle of the army. Probably trying to hunt for cannons. Big cavalry engagement up here in the north. See what's happening. They are really pushing in. I am trying to rearrange some men. They killed a bunch of captains. So now I'm back in the base trying to send some reinforcements. Allies are also trying to send some reinforcements. The line is thinning a lot, really thinning. They even killed the raid from Gray on the west. Not looking good for the East team. Let's take a look at the points for a little bit. So you can see West team is at 904 and the East team is at 830. So the West team is winning the engagements. They're getting a better kill-death ratio than the East. So now I feel like it's now or never. So I'm trying to send my infantry this way because like they are doing a number on my men. They're definitely killing more than we are. They're even taking Orange's cannons out. So then I send my big group of infantry. See how this goes? Let's take a look at it from this perspective. Got more cavalry up here. Engagement here, engagement in the middle, engagement on the left. We got the cannons being taken care of right here on the west. And now you can see with orange taking care of like keeping blue back and not enough pikes, not enough infantry to protect their arquebusiers. My infantry is starting to slaughter the enemy, starting to slaughter the captains even. And we are just killing more than we're losing. So the balance of power, let's go back into the game. The balance of power is starting to move in the favor of the East team. We are definitely killing a whole bunch of enemies. And now we're taking over in points. You can see one more good KD and then we win on the East side. And I think that's what's going to happen very soon. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the game. That was a very, very, very close game. We really thought the West team was going to win, but with the big flank in the end, we were able to hold the enemy off and get a better kill-death ratio. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.